we've had some time to contemplate what happened Tuesday night, and obviously Kofi's performance and the aftermath and our reaction to all of that, and a little bit of time to reflect too on, I guess, kind of our careers and why we do this. You think of this business to some degree being a meritocracy, that if you work hard, you show up early, you stay late, you do all the right things, you jump through all the right hoops, you're respectful, you don't break the law, that you get good at your craft, that you really hone that you find a place with fans, you separate yourself, you find a niche, you separate yourself from a character perspective, from an in-ring perspective. You do everything, you check all the boxes, you show up in shape, you do everything that's asked of you in this business, that if you do all those things, you have a good chance of making it to the top. But now we understand the game. We see what the game is, that people like us will only get so far, that you can climb the mountain. They'll let you climb the mountain, but as far as getting to the peak and staying at the peak, it's not a thing. That people like us, historically, and moving forward clearly, can only get so far. So, we've done a lot of cool things here. We've been able to do a lot of things that we never could have imagined we could do, but clearly we are never meant to be more than this. And for people like us, that's not enough. And it will never be enough. So, we got to sit back and think whether, continuing to be gone for 250 days plus a year is worth it, of missing the family time, of doing this to our bodies, leaving a piece of yourself in the ring that you can never get back. All the things that we give, if it's worth it when we can only get this far. So we got a lot of thinking to do. Obviously proud of Kofi, proud of us as a trio, proud of what we've done. But if this is all we ever will be, I don't know if it's worth it.
And now from east of the Pacific to west of parts unknown, south of Mars, north of hell, here are the smartest minds in the sport of professional wrestling. This is Brainbuster Radio.
How the hell you doing, Brainiacs? Long Alan Iced Tea here, ready to talk Pro Graps with you. And this is the most serious time of the year, Brainiacs. Everybody is assessing their place in the sport of professional wrestling right now as we get into the biggest week in our sport, and tensions are high, controversy is ensuing, and we are covering it all from New Japan to WWE, Ring of Honor, and everywhere in between. Brainiacs, tweet it, read it, tout it, shout it, be all about it. At the Brainbusters, it's a serious stop on the road to WrestleMania today. On Twitter, Instagram Junior, Facebook, go there if you want to interact, or of course, go to brainbusterradio.com. Today, Dr. Mil Calzones, Triple M to some, is here on the Unos and Doses. Carnal, it's WrestleMania, and we're bringing our little niños and niñas to WrestleMania to watch us compete at WrestleMania. We're going to talk about a new match added to the card.
Yeah, we're all excited down here in the orphanage. We're getting all the piñatas, we're getting all the tamales, we're getting everything prepared and getting ready for WrestleMania.
Doctor is ready, and so is a man called Wired, but he's not here today. He's just scrolling, thumbing through Twitter and Instagram Junior, I think. I don't know what he's up to, but I couldn't get him to get on the microphone today, Brainiac. So tweet at the Brainbusters, and Wired's looking at our account. Tell him, get on the show, damn it, where are you? Vin Man, of course, is on limited dates. Moose the Mark. Now, Triple J, Moose the Mark is so angry at the injustice of the past week. He almost quit the show and quit. He almost said, I'm going to take a WrestleMania off and sell my ticket. He was so angry. I had to talk him off the ledge. All is good. Moose the Mark will be there. But Triple J, with outrage and people hopping railings and fights that, during talk shows, it is a crazy week. I must ask you, please, in a time like this, we need order. What's causing all this?
Yeah, there is a lot of that going on, too much, quite frankly. And you would expect this in October or even September, for that matter. But at the end of March, just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, this is stuff that you don't expect to be happening. So, yeah, let's talk about what's causing this. And Long Alan, it is no secret you prepare some documents for us before we go on air, some quote-unquote rundowns, as we like to call them in the business. And,
why would I watch the show?
Your text you've got here for what I'm supposed to read right now about, I'm just going to read it as is. And then I'll tell you what I got to say about that. So what I'm supposed to be reading right now for what's causing all this is, has Vince McMahon ever been more hell-bent on keeping someone out of the Mania main event picture than he is against Kofi Kingston? I'm going to say what's causing all this is we are 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and there is not a number one contender for the WWE title. That is a bigger issue to me. All right, this is the title going, back to Bruno, to Hogan, to Austin, to Rock, Bob Backlund, the Iron Sheik baby. This title is not even on the line at WrestleMania, your biggest show of the year. The show was built around this, and the title does not even have a contender. To me, that's the bigger problem here.
That is the problem, Triple J. It's because Kofi is the number one contender. He beat 5 men in one night. He earned the shot.
But then he lost to one man.
And Vince McMahon is making up rules as he goes along. It's worse than what he did to Stone Cold Steve Austin, anything he ever did to John Cena or anybody else, or The Rock or Mick Foley. It's an injustice. It's some kind of issue that Vince McMahon has with Kofi Kingston. I can't quite put my finger on it, but they're saying people like him won't get a championship opportunity at WrestleMania, even when he earns it, and he clearly earned it on SmackDown Live. Triple J, you would not have your issue with there not being a WWE title match booked for WrestleMania right now if we lived in a just world where Vince McMahon wasn't a complete farging ice hole and took this title shot away from Kofi. Kofi is the number one contender as far as I'm concerned, Triple J. He earned it.
Well, as far as some people are concerned, the earth is flat, but we all know that it's round. Listen, we need to tread very carefully here. I was thinking about this. Mr. McMahon, he's getting up there in age, all right? We all know he doesn't even sleep on a non-WrestleMania season, so he is definitely not sleeping now. This man's probably been up for 5 weeks straight right now. He's old in age. With all we know about head injuries, he just probably forgot to announce that Daniel Bryan was in that match 2 weeks ago, and then he just remembered it.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding? You think he just forgot that the
those
WWE champion was in that match?
Shots, in the late 90s. Let's not rule that out. I'm not a doctor.
That's not an excuse for screwing over Kofi Kingston. He was told to beat 5 men. He beat 5 men. He should be getting a match at WrestleMania. Now we're on the verge of the New Day quitting. The New Day is saying, "Fuck this! If we're gonna win and still not be given the right to be on WrestleMania when we've earned it, why are we here?" And I completely agree with them. If I were them, I'd just sit out the rest of my contract like Neville did, because this is horse shit. Fuck him!
You know what? Triple M is here today, and I'm glad to hear his voice. And I'm sure he's glad to hear my voice also. Dr. Calzones, talk about people like us, if you will.
Yeah, Triple J. I missed you last week. He's right. Head injuries can cause memory loss. I mean, he might even think Kofi Kingston is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Or still Jamaican. Maybe he's one that, why is he wearing that pink and blue?
Yeah, he's probably still thinking about Kofi Kingston feuding with Randy Orton and destroying his race car. We don't know what's going on in Vince McMahon's head. It's WrestleMania season, so much pressure, less sleep, headshots. I mean, it could be any of those things.
You don't think it's just a complete bias against Kofi Kingston? Vince McMahon has something against him in the New Day, I think. And if he doesn't, this is how I know it, because he doesn't even have anyone in mind to face Daniel Bryan for that title. He doesn't even like Daniel Bryan, but he does not like Kofi Kingston, and I don't know why. How can you not? He's done everything. He's been a good soldier for the WWE for over a decade. And now he's winning big time matches. It'd be like if you won the AFC Championship, Triple J, and then Roger Goodell came out and said, but you know what? You don't get to go to the Super Bowl. Sorry, with no explanation why.
That's odd, kind of like whenever you're just naming someone like a Charlotte Flair who didn't even win.
She won the Royal Rumble.
Who didn't even win that said AFC Conference Championship match, and she's in the Super Bowl.
She did. Charlotte Flair is as if she won the AFC Championship game, but then some other team showed up unexpectedly because Finley said, go out there and play, and then another game that shouldn't have happened. That's why Charlotte Flair's at WrestleMania. I don't need to get into that. We're talking about Kofi Kingston here. It's another most controversial WrestleMania of all time, and of course, Of course, Seth Rollins would be in a championship match at this WrestleMania, this controversial WrestleMania. Prince should be the artist at the performing controversy. That's all we got here.
I mean, when you've got Big E talking about people like us.
I mean, I feel him because Brainbuster Radio's felt like this for years. How long have we been doing this? 7, 8 goddamn years. And podcasts like us, they're letting us climb the mountain. Triple J, they're letting us do it, but every time we get to that peak, some sort of accidental landslide happens.
Every single time something goes wrong with the algorithm, and we get bumped off the iTunes chart.
Oh, all of a sudden iTunes changes their format for episode titles. All of a sudden, you've got to do this or got to do that. They've changed the rules because it's rigged. The game is rigged against podcasts like us. The game is rigged against people like Kofi Kingston and The New Day. And I can't stand it, and it's affecting WrestleMania. And now what do you got, Triple J? No WWE title match at WrestleMania. The coolest belt of them all. I mean, it's made of a naturally fallen oak, and no one's fighting for it at WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about people like us in Big E Langston, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil. What do they all have in common? They're mid-carders. And mid-carders like that, they just don't main event in WrestleMania.
I don't believe it. I don't believe they're mid-carders. I believe Apollo Crews, with his ability to gorilla press slam people and his ability to do backflips, his athleticism, his great smile. What a great smile. That is a main event smile. Kofi Kingston, all the athleticism in the world, all the charisma in the world. Big E Langston, the strength, the power, the charisma. Xavier Woods, the inventiveness, the mind, the athleticism. They all have main event qualities. They've all earned it. They've all been unique. They've all done it their own way. Yet, for some reason, when they earn it, it gets taken away or the rules of the game get changed. And who knows what's next for the WWE title then? With this mess, what happens next? Do the New Day quit? Should they go to All Elite Wrestling where everybody will be given an opportunity and a chance to earn it? Or do they stick around and try to fight this? What happens with this WWE title situation, Triple J?
Well, I don't know. That was actually the question I was going to ask you guys, because we've got, I believe, 2 SmackDown Lives left. Something has to happen.
I just want a WWE title match, and I want it to be Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. Why can't we have that?
I just want a match also. I'm not sure if, that's a good strategy, possibly. The three of the New Day just lock themselves inside Vince McMahon's office and just yell, give it to me. Until
Do you think that's a great idea? Maybe the New Day will go Batista on Vince McMahon.
Now, should they change their attire? Should they wear velvet maroon suits?
That would be
shirts underneath.
That would be the most New Day thing ever. They should. They love cosplaying. They should all put in blue nose rings.
Cosplay as Batista.
They all go into Vince McMahon's office, and they should drag Linda McMahon by the collar, lifeless body into his office.
Don't say that much. Don't say that.
To hurt people you love.
That's how you get the match you want at WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston, you're right. We just decided it. You know what? People like you and podcasts like us, we're going to continue to be held down. But maybe we could take a cue from Big Dave to get what we want and what we've earned. Batista, he has set the bar at this WrestleMania. He has laid out the blueprint for getting what you want. And
give me what I want.
Now Kofi Kingston has to take that blueprint, that playbook, and apply it. And I think we're going to see it on SmackDown this week. I still believe in Kofi versus Daniel Bryan main eventing WrestleMania Triple J. We're going to get what we want.
Give it
All
to
right.
me. Give me what I want.
Show meeting as soon as we go off air this morning. We're all going to get on a conference call and just keep calling Apple headquarters and just yell, "Give me what I want," until we're back on that list.
We want to be top. When people search wrestling,
We want to be there in sports and games.
we want to be at the top because that's where we belong. We have the most clicks, the most downloads, the most interaction. Yet for some reason they're holding us down. Where's my blue nose ring, Doctor? Give me this.
Give it to me. Give me what I want.
I'll end the show early so we could go do this. I'm inspired right now. But we do have a lot of other wrestling to talk. Sorry, Triple J.
We do have a lot of other, and just
See,
more.
I'm the landlord. And rent's due, you son of a.
More in travesties, especially on Monday Night Raw. The security is just flat out poor on that show from top to bottom.
What are you gonna do? You don't have the dude with the beret anymore, the leather beret. He's
You're right.
gone.
Maybe
Atlas Security's working with All Elite Wrestling, so there aren't a lot of quality. Dog the Bounty Hunter is in Hawaii. There's not a lot of quality.
Like it was better whenever Constable Corbin was in charge somehow. I mean, I don't feel good saying that inside, but I feel like it was. Now you got people's spouses just not attacking talent per se, but attacking the security, I guess. I mean, Dr. Calzonis, I guess this individual's name is Travis Brown with an E at the end of Brown. Again, I don't know why we're giving notoriety to people's spouses or family members. Why we need first names and last names? Couldn't we, I feel like they just call The Rock's mom or grandma The Rock's mom or grandma.
So you're saying that Travis Brown, Ronda Rousey's husband, the rest of the time we talk about him, you just want to call him Ronda Rousey's husband?
That's what you would do with any other talents, family in the ring.
I mean, the announcers aren't saying Mr. George Mizanin whenever they're talking about
why aren't they saying that? Why aren't they calling him Mr. George?
And he's way more famous, especially in the Cleveland area, in the tri-state area, than Travis Brown is anywhere.
I was going to say, I could recognize Mr. George in a crowd. This Travis Brown looks like, any other 30-something guy with a big unkept beard and a shaved head.
Is this Rudy Poo?
I mean, put him and Kevin Owens in a room, and how can you tell the difference? Dr.
Calzonis, do you know who Travis Brown is?
Isn't he like a drummer?
He could be.
I think you're thinking Travis Barker of Blink 182.
Oh, I don't know.
First of all, does this individual have any fame attached to him?
Travis Brown?
Yes.
I mean, he was a UFC heavyweight who, never really won any big fights. Also, I believe, was involved in some sort of domestic violence issue before he was with Ronda Rousey. So he's kind of got a shady background as well that we're kind of glossing over when we're mentioning Travis Brown. I'm with you. I'm all for just calling him Ronda Rousey's husband. And I think he should be banned from ringside forever, because any time a fan, and that's what he was, interacts with talent or security, they should not be allowed. I mean, he's a danger. There are children there, and this guy is punching security people.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I think this is just a cut and dry case here. Get him out of there. The only time I want to see his face is the security on a security clipboard for scanning faces that enter the arena. I mean,
we're pushing the envelope here with this triple threat that's going to probably close the show, and it should, because it is a big time match. Talking about. Really, I'm almost resigned to the fact whoever sells the most T-shirts should main event WrestleMania. Becky Lynch is selling the most T-shirts right now, so I guess you give it to her. Charlotte's the most elegant and the best of them all, so she obviously deserves it. Ronda Rousey here is just she is shitting all over exposing the business. Now her husband's punching security guards, putting children at risk. She's pushing the envelope more than anybody, and I'm saying I'm almost ready to say strip her of the championship and make this a one-on-one contest between Becky and Charlotte, because Ronda is she is this close, I think, to WWE saying, fuck this, who cares how much we're paying her and what we'd have to pay her. We can't have her out there. She is too dangerous. She has no decorum. She doesn't respect anybody, and we don't want her associated with us. And I'm getting that close because that was sickening seeing what her husband and her did on Monday night, Triple J.
Well, she gave up the title one time already and then decided that, oh, no, I didn't give it up. Then she wanted it back. I would almost, Long Alan, I know you're not going to go for this, but this man can make sure that everything that's, supposed to happen inside that ring happens without any outside interference. Maybe have Finley as an enforcer on the outside and give him the shillelagh just in case.
Finley's basically Becky Lynch's manager. That would be patently unfair.
In case anybody's going to try to jump the rail, I still wouldn't put it past Ric Flair at his age and that beating we saw him taking, trying to interfere with that. And I'd like Finley out there to make sure that law and order is held in tight.
Well, I don't want to see that. Triple M, Doctor, in Arena Mexico, how do they deal with fans who hop the railing? How would you book, making sure that the match goes on without, shenanigans and we get a legit winner?
Mexico's a lot different because
they probably cut their hands off.
Yeah, they just hired the narco traficantes out there. So
that means
no one really jumps over the rail.
Is that like the Hells Angels?
A little. I mean,
like 20 times 20, maybe.
Or the Hells Angels are scared of them.
Way more violent. Yeah. A lot more decapitations than the Hells Angels.
A lot of them are usually. You know what? The thing is, there is no security. They're usually the ones in the front row. So
a lot less butt fucking than the Hells Angels too. Triple J.
Something I didn't know about the Hells Angels.
Oh yeah, they're notorious for that.
I need to watch one of those History Channel.
What are you guys notorious for? Meth and butt fucking.
I mean, what else are you gonna do in the desert? Am I right? It's
rounding up snakes just for fun.
It's really like. I feel like thank God Charlotte's in this match because this. WrestleMania main events, you want some sort of, I don't know, you want class involved or at least prestige. You want prestige, you want honor. I mean, Becky Lynch has really, pushed it in that regard. She has no prestige. She's not classy, but she is a fighting woman from Ireland, and I guess I could respect that in some way. Ronda Rousey is really proving to be a trash person. I mean, she is just I wouldn't be surprised if she has lineage back to the Hells Angels. She is just not respectable enough, I think, for the main event of WrestleMania. But she does hold the championship. Thank God for Charlotte, and thank God Charlotte Flair is gonna save this main event when she wins it at WrestleMania, Triple J. But oh man, what a gross! It's just yucky sometimes watching the build. But I am excited for Charlotte to put these two in their place.
Charlotte Flair!
Yeah, something's going to happen here. I almost have a feel like Ronda's she's almost glad that she's probably not going to walk out with that title. She gets a lot of this pressure taken off of her. She can slow down her verbiage. She doesn't have to be talking so fast. Long Alan, you were talking about like an honor. Well, boy, do I have the topic for you coming up here, because we did have the 17th anniversary of Ring of Honor. One hell of a pay-per-view, at least in my eyes, last week that happened. So this G1 Supercard is getting a lot clearer. I believe the New Japan Cup final ended sometime early this morning. You're going to smarten us up about that one.
It did.
And, we are going to be there. And, some people are trash talking this G1 Supercard I've been hearing lately. Everybody just needs to remember that I hold the power over everyone, where I can have you on your feet for this entire 4-hour show, just hooting and hollering if I want.
Yeah.
I mean,
punishment for me.
Triple M, I know you're going to be doing it already. Naturally, you're going to be doing it. Long Alan, you are Vin Man, and even Wired. I don't know why Wired's trash talking this show right now, but he is.
I mean, Wired is Vin Man has traditionally
That's Vin Man's angle.
Vin Man does not trash Ring of Honor or New Japan. He just he has a certain aesthetic he enjoys, and he will give it up to New Japan and Ring of Honor and any other wrestling when it deserves it. Vin Man, I respect him in that way. Wired, I think, in an effort to impress Vin Man for some reason, is going over the top and beyond with
he's looking
trashing
for Vin Man's acceptance.
Yes, he's for some reason he's overcompensating with hate for this card, the G1 Supercard, hate for New Japan, hate for Ring of Honor, hate for anything that isn't WWE, and it makes no sense, especially when you're talking about the G1 Supercard, Madison Square Garden. Of course, Ring of Honor's 17th anniversary gave us a few matches now for that card. We'll talk about those later. But now, New Japan Cup 2019 has ended, and we have our main event for the G1 Supercard set.
And just briefly talk about the finals of the New Japan Cup.
The finals featured Sonata and Okada one-on-one. You're talking about someone from the lineage, the tutelage of Keiji Muto, the Great Muta, with the moonsault and the Dragon Sleeper, the skull end, as they call it, and he is just one of these young studs. I mean, just a great slab of Japanese meat. They're killing it in New Japan. A tag team wrestler for a while there in LIJ, but now Sonata breaks out big time. The tournament is all about proving yourself and stepping onto a new platform and maybe stepping into a new part of your career, and he did that. Sonata made it all the way to the final, but he faced possibly, arguably, the greatest IWGP heavyweight champion of all time, the former champion Kazuchika Okada, and, well, the winner of the New Japan Cup 2019, Kazuchika Okada. And he will face the Knife Pervert at Madison Square Garden for the G1 Supercard main event. And now we get the honor, the privilege, Triple J, of seeing not only an IWGP Heavyweight Championship match for the first time, I believe, for all of us, but not only do we get to see one of those, but we also get to see Okada compete for it and try to win that title, arguably the most prestigious title in the world. I have goosebumps thinking about it. We're going to be there, seeing Okada. Vin Man's even hyped for it.
Vin Man's a big Okada fan. Now, Long Out, I believe you got to see in the Hammerstein, didn't you get to see Elgin, Okada, and AJ in a triple threat for that title once?
Was that for the championship?
It was. It was a very rare triple threat for the title.
For IWGP title?
Yes.
Oh, so I have seen it. Okay, but that was a triple threat. One-on-one!
Right,
I've never seen Okada face someone one-on-one for the IWGP Championship.
Now, tell me this. Has Okada still been wearing the short trunks ever since he re-debuted them?
We are 100% back to the Rainmaker! And the Rainmaker doesn't need anyone talking for him anymore. And you get... I mean, this is great. Not only is it the Rainmaker competing for the title, but, of course, the manager of the Knife Pervert is his former manager. Personal issues, a big rematch. I mean, Doctor, we're talking about the most prestigious title, the most prestigious guy to ever hold that championship, the Rainmaker. I know you won't be there, but I'm going to gather all the Okada dollars for you, and I'll bring you as many as I can snack.
I mean, just be careful. It's going to be raining from the ceiling. I mean, it might still be raining during the match. We don't even know what's going to be happening.
Do you prefer JBL dollars or Okada dollars?
Oh,
G1
I'm gonna have to say Okada dollars.
Hell yeah, Okada dollars. And
Okada,
hopefully he'll be money against that goddamn Knife Pervert, because I can't decide what I want more at WrestleMania weekend to happen. I want to see that belt off of the Knife Pervert desperately, but I, of course, want to see Seth Rollins not win that Universal title. Triple J.
Well, there's no contest here. How could you even, lump? I know you're not a fan of Jay White, but how could you even lump him in the same conversation as Seth Rollins?
Well, because they're both sleazy.
Like each other.
They are both. I mean, yeah, they very much are. One is a scumbag, weasel, piece of shit who ruins things, and the other one is just a pervert who's sticking knives in pee-pees and feets and who the god damn it, who knows what else with knives. I mean, I mean, just the things I'm picturing him doing with that the IWGP belt. Antonio Inoki, I mean, talking about the lineage going so far, 1972. Ew. Weird. Gross.
G1 Climax.
But yeah, Seth Rollins is probably worse. You're right.
Of course. We've got this match set, which is huge. It's a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom this past year. We know Jay White came out on top.
It's like we're going to Wrestle Kingdom without having to travel all the way to Japan. It's amazing.
No, did the finals take place in Korakuen?
The finals. Ooh, where were the finals in Korakuen? I just watched it right before the show.
Sumo Hall, maybe.
I think it was Korakuen. I'm gonna double check, but it was either way. The crowd was hot. It was a great night. We also, of course, saw Juice Robinson retain the United States Championship against the crown jewel Chase Owens, who I know the Doctor's a huge fan of, but surprisingly he lost. Doctor, my condolences.
Damn, man.
Can you give us a Chase Owens impression, Doctor?
I want to be Tonga. Pew pew pew. I don't know. I'm like,
Bang, pew pew.
Yeah, I want to be a Tongalan or whatever. Pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, is that what he sounds like? I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm on the nose.
So now the updated card, Triple J. Do you want to run us through what we're going to be seeing at G1 Supercard besides, of course, Okada versus the Knife Pervert for the IWGP title?
Yeah, now the Okada and Jay White, that's really right now the only true New Japan versus New Japan match. We've got some interpromotionals or completely ROH matches here. Of course, you got here's an interpromotional you got here. You got Jeff Cobb taking on Will Ospreay. Now, Long Alan, you have here in the notes that the never open weight title is on the line, and also the TV title. That is correct. It's title here. It's title for title.
My only concern is it feels like Tai Chi, the Lord Tai Chi, should be getting a title shot against Ospreay for that never open weight title soon. But I don't know if that'll come before or after MSG. But they're on a collision course as well. But I think we're getting a title for title match. TV title for never open weight. We're gonna have a double champion coming out of Madison Square Garden.
G1 Climax.
We're probably gonna have multiple, but that's just the first. Also, this was title for title. I guess it still is now. You got God, the Gorillas of Destiny, taking on PCO and Brody King here. So this is still title for title, correct?
I believe so. We got tag title for tag title. Yeah, and. Yeah. A real big swerve. I was totally expecting to see Briscoes versus God, and I was expecting that to maybe be the final match, because that is main event worthy, if you ask me. But now we're getting PCO and Brody King, who kind of stole this spot and the titles. And guerrilla tactics can only get you so far. You're facing monsters, legitimate monsters. And PCO and Brody King, and also side note, Brody King will be competing, I believe, the night before in a drag queen show. Triple J, did you hear about this?
How is there anything that he can take from that match and bring to this match to help him
from the drag queen show? I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got some queens that might help assist them. He could come in and dressed in drag and maybe distract the Gorillas of Destiny. I mean, I would love to see Tama Tonga react to a man in drag. That would be really fun. But Brody King's got a very a big weekend of competition for him.
Yeah. It is a little disappointing that we're not going to see the Briscoes and God one-on-one.
What do you think what are the Briscoes going to be doing?
I was going to say they're not even booked right now.
What's your prediction?
They're probably going to be in some type of, battle royal, I guess. That hopefully Jay's going to win.
Really? You think the best tag team in Ring of Honor is just going to be in a battle royal?
Well, I mean, we're close here. Who they going to be fighting? I feel like you'd have to tag them up against a New Japan team. Like, who's just as crazy as them?
That would be entertaining to see them take on Evil and Sonata. Would be good. Yeah. That would be very fun. The Briscoes, Got the Briscoes versus, let's see, what's another tag team? I mean, Tanahashi doesn't have a match at Wrestle
Briscoe
Kingdom.
versus Tanahashi.
I would like to, or maybe Tanahashi could find himself a tag team partner. Who knows? I don't know. Jay Briscoe and Tana one-on-one would be great.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Also on the card, we got Bully Ray opening an open challenge to anyone, any promotion. And Long Alan, you feel like you feel like he's signaling one man out for this, really, than just playing the field.
Bully Ray?
Yeah.
It sounded like he had someone in mind. I don't know who.
It did.
I don't know.
You don't think he's calling out Flip Gordon again?
I know Flip Gordon's on the shelf. I think. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it.
He
to
is,
MSG.
but I think he'll be back by then.
Could he be calling out Devon Dudley? Could he be calling out someone else? I don't know.
What heat does he have with Devon though? They're Hall of Famers.
They are. What about Ultimo Guerrero? I'd love to see that match. How about Doctor? What's Ultimo Guerrero got going on the weekend of the MSG? It's G1 Supercard.
Ultimo Guerrero. I don't know what he has going on during.
Probably visiting some family in the city.
Probably visiting, maybe at the bodegas down there.
Trying to eat for free every meal.
Trying to find some kind of taco stand.
You don't think Ultimo Guerrero gets free meals wherever he goes? I mean, that guy eats well because he's...
Yes, he does. He's not starving.
He's not starving, and he gets... You want to talk about the finest. It's not an NXT. It's always surrounding Ultimo Guerrero. I've heard, Doctor, some tales about the kind of women that are just surrounding him all the time when he's drinking tequila on a Tuesday night.
It's probably a lot of senoritas over there.
Nice
senoritas. That proper thickness.
A lot of senoritas wearing tennis shoes, I bet.
We know that Ultimo Guerrero's got the proper thickness. I'm rooting for him to answer the call. I want to see Bully Ray versus Ultimo Guerrero.
That'd be a good match. I doubt we get it. Also, because of the events of the 17th anniversary, right now it's not one-on-one. It's not the villain versus the winner of Lethal and Taven. It is the villain versus Lethal versus Matt Taven. Triple threat ladder match in this one. Again, I'm a purist, so I would prefer one-on-one, 60-minute time limit. But it's...
You already got that. You already got that for the IWGP title, so why not for the Ring of Honor?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's going to be great. It's I don't know if this is going to be as much of a car wreck as people think it's going to be. It's not going to be ladder war with like 3 teams in it. This is going to be a little more slower paced, a little more methodical, which I am all for on this one.
I'm excited for whatever it happens. If it becomes one of those car wrecks, if it's a technical spectacle, which I'm leaning towards because you've got 3, we have 2 guys in here just went to a draw, and now you add in Skrull here, who's going to throw in some really, I think, some...
He can use that umbrella all match.
Yeah, he's going to throw in some ingenuity, some devious tactics. It's going to be an interesting match. It could go a variety of ways, but I'm not going to predict it yet. I'm going to say it's the most unpredictable match of the night because I really could see all 3 men coming out with that championship.
You think this is more unpredictable than Bully Ray versus question mark?
Yeah, because whoever Bully Ray faces, he's going to smack them in the face with a chair and a chain, and probably it's in his literally blocks away from where he grew up. It's an unfair advantage unless someone else from New York answers the call, and I don't know anyone from New York, so. I'm thinking this is the most unpredictable match, and I'm happy it's a ladder match. I love the variety we've got. We've got monsters. We've got, traditional one-on-one heavyweight title matches. We've got title for title, and we've got high flyers and strong men, and we've got big slabs of meat, Triple J.
Oh, and I saved this one for last. We're in the Big Apple. We're in, maybe not per capacity the biggest arena, but the most famous arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. I mean, there's probably going to be at least one boy sitting next to me on this, but there's going to be so many boys for Dalton Castle versus Roosh one-on-one. This match, there is so little build-up in this match, and this is what I'm looking most forward to. Dalton Castle and Roosh won. The undefeated Roosh.
The Doctor is hyped for this with Roosh on the card, and now he's taking on Dalton Castle. Doctor.
Yeah, they're gonna have the boys, and Roosh is gonna have those niños. I guess if that's how you want to do it, man.
Oh yeah, you got niños and boys all throughout MSG. Yeah. How do you think there'll be more niños or more boys?
I'm going to say more niños. You know, it is the Madison Square Garden, isn't it?
What were they calling Rouge? El Toro Blanco?
Yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean, Doctor? Can you translate?
The white bull.
The white bull.
White bull.
Yeah.
Do you like his
bull? It's a bull versus peacock match. Tell us all this time.
Well, we all know the bull has bigger cajones, man.
Yes, but the peacock can strut better.
Oh,
that's what this may come down to.
I mean, that's kind of what those matadors do down there in Mexico, right? Whenever they're going, they're really elegant in how they avoid the bull, right? They strut too with that big red cape or whatever it is, Doctor. I mean, this is kind of. Does the peacock have a chance against El Toro Blanco?
You know what happens? You always try to avoid the horn of the bull.
Yeah.
So as long as he can avoid it, if not, then acabado. That dude's done.
Oh, you got a lot of strutting boys and a lot of horny niños there when El Toro Blanco takes on Dalton Castle in a match that might steal the show. Triple J, I'm with you. I'm super.
That's what I'm saying. There's so little build up on this, but I mean, just think about that. Dalton Castle made and sold this match to everyone on like a 15-minute commentary, a guest commentary segment.
If you watched Ring of Honor's 17th anniversary and you saw Roosh beat Bandito, then you understand why this match is exciting, because Dalton Castle told you why it would be. I mean, it's
just
rolling
over whatever was going to happen.
They didn't even show Dalton Castle, but I could just picture how wide his eyes were getting as he was watching Roosh do his thing.
I just want to know who's taking the Mexico flag over there.
Oh yeah, Dr. Calzones, you won't be at MSG. Well, you said all the niños will be there, but so maybe they'll be holding the flags up for you. I'll hold it up for you if you want me to. I think I'm rooting for Roosh.
There you go.
I like saying Roosh. It's much more fun than saying Rush. So, Doctor, which brings me to what we're going to do after the show. Before we go storm the headquarters there of Apple because podcasts like us can't get a break. How about you and I watch Roosh Hour 1 and 2?
What about 3 as well?
I don't want to watch Roosh Hour 3, but I'm down for 1 and 2 for sure.
Okay, I'm down too.
All right, Roosh, get the yayo, Triple J. Where are we going next?
Yeah, that's everything that we have announced currently for the G1 Supercard. Hopefully, a little bit more to come.
G1 Climax.
But I don't think we want to know everything. I want to know some more New Japan talent that's going to be on the show. We also know there's a battle royal. I think there's maybe. Is anybody announced for that battle royal yet?
I have no idea. And admittedly, I'm probably going to be playing some catch up after I watch Roosh Hour 2. I'm going to watch some Ring of Honor.
Probably Cheeseburger, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Yeah, Cheeseburger and Liger always.
Tiger Mask.
What about Tanahashi and Jushin Thunder Liger versus the Briscoes?
That would be good.
I think that could steal the show too. Oh, I can't wait for the G1 Supercard. It's going to be an unbelievable night, unlike anything we've ever seen. And we got only a couple weeks left for more matches to be announced. So Brainiacs, keep it locked at the Brainbusters on Twitter, Instagram Junior, and Facebook. We'll update you, we'll react to it with you, and let us know what match you're excited for, and let us know if you.
Oh, we forgot about.
Let us know if you're a niño or a boy. Most importantly,
we forgot about the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Triple Threat. Taiji Ishimori, yes. Bandito, and Dragon Lee. We forgot to mention that one.
Which that match is going to be so quick, my neck might break, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be absurd. the moves that we're going to see Bandito do. I can't wait to see some guys hold themselves up, teeter-tottering on a rope, waiting to get moonsaulted. But hey, I love it. I can't wait to see the innovation. Taiji Ishimori. I mean, talk about, you got boys and niños, and I think all the boys and niños collectively will be going crazy over the abs we're going to see in that match. That's going to be like, I mean, Tony Nese has an 8-pack. Taji Ishimori probably has, I'd say, 12 or 14 Triple J.
Yeah, I may have to burn a punishment on Vin Man chanting all these guys for that IWGP
That'll be good.
Junior heavyweight match. Maybe.
I'll be filming it.
Long Alan, please take us home here.
Yeah, well, we're not home yet. We're not going to bleed just yet because we need to be informed first with this week's Brainbuster Radio headlines. This week on Brainbuster Radio headlines, Kurt Angle picks an opponent for WrestleMania. A big match is set for Tuesday Night SmackDown, and a challenge was made by a Scottish psychopath to a certain Big Dog. This week, Brainbuster Radio headlines are brought to you by Marburger Diapers. Marburger Diapers, wear them all WrestleMania weekend, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be wearing them because you're never going to have time to. That's one thing, we never have time to go to the bathroom, right, Triple J? I mean, I missed Lita's Hall of Fame speech the one year. And
yeah,
now,
but I mean, with that Shane McMahon Miz match this year, I'm glad that I'm going to have a time to empty out.
Why would I want to miss Shane McMahon jump from something high at WrestleMania? I'm going
to watch Shane McMahon's entrance for sure.
There's no time to go to the bathroom WrestleMania weekend, Brainiacs. So get a pack of Marburger diapers. You're only going to need 6 for the whole week. They last you multiple uses. Once you use it in the front, it's still the same pair is eligible to use in the back, which means you get dual usage, which means it lasts longer. It's the most effective WrestleMania week diaper on the market. MarburgerDiapers.com. Get them on Amazon or any Marburger Mart today. All right, first thing, Kurt Angle has selected Baron Corbin as his final opponent in professional wrestling when he wrestles Baron Corbin at WrestleMania 35 Triple J. What was your reaction to Kurt picking the former constable?
Personal issues. Kurt Angle has not forgotten this. He wants to be done with Baron Corbin. Forever. Finally here. I understand some people wanted a more higher prolific opponent for Kurt Angle. I mean, he barely, squeaked by Chad Gable. Kurt Angle wants to win this final match, and he has a very good shot doing that against Baron Corbin.
He does, and
I'm not negative on it at all.
Personal issues are important, and it's Kurt Angle's last match. He gets the pick, so I'm not going to judge who he picked. It's not like he was forced to face Baron Corbin, but interestingly, here is the reaction was very negative in the crowd and on social media. Wired really was giving me all the details. He said, man, they do not like that Kurt picked Baron Corbin. Nobody's respecting his decision. I do, but I understand where some people are coming from, and even John Cena does not like it. He tweeted out a very interesting Instagram picture. Dr. Calzonis, I don't know if you saw this, but John Cena just put out a picture of Kevin Owens holding up a sign that said Baron Corbin is a dumpster fire.
I don't think that was Kevin Owens, but the similarities were striking.
It wasn't Kevin Owens?
I don't think.
Well, it was a guy, a larger guy with a beard, holding up a sign that said Baron Corbin is a dumpster fire, doctor. Do you agree with the Kevin Owens or not Kevin Owens sentiment? And what do you think John Cena is saying by posting that picture?
I mean, it is an odd choice to pick Baron Corbin, but I guess, this is the last time to settle the score. So, I mean, whoever Kurt Angle picks, you just got to respect.
You got to respect it.
If John Cena has a problem with it, perhaps he should show up on live television and voice his opinion.
Yeah, why not, John? If you have a problem with it, if that's what you mean by the Instagram post, show up on Raw and do something about it. Huh? John Cena, once upon a time, he was on every week. He was the guy telling The Rock.
He doesn't even care. He doesn't care if he's not even on WrestleMania. Such a difference from last year. What about his legacy?
It's getting kind of alarming, the change in attitude, the attitude adjustment, if you will, of John Cena over the past year. Once upon a time, Kurt Angle was in the ring calling people out and John Cena answered the call. And, he displayed an attitude we have never seen before, a certain kind of aggression we had never seen before, Triple J. And now he's just a mark on the internet complaining about wrestling.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think he's going to be in the crowd. He might be watching from a sports bar in the Tampa area.
You know what?
Or
I have a message for John Cena, and we know he's listening because he's a big fan of podcasts like us. John, I'm going to use your own words from last year leading into WrestleMania. If you don't like that Kurt Angle chose Baron Corbin as his opponent, do something. Do something, John. Do something about it. And that's how I'm going to leave it at that. Because if he's not, I respect Kurt Angle's decision, Triple J.
Sure, I do also. Yep.
Another WrestleMania match that might happen could be Drew McIntyre versus the Big Dog.
The Big Dog.
Drew McIntyre challenged the Big Dog on Monday Night Raw in 2 weeks took out all 3 members of the Shield. He is on a roll unlike maybe anybody in wrestling right now. He's looking real jacked. He was in a hell of a street fight in Pittsburgh on Raw against Dean Ambrose a couple weeks ago, Triple J. And I gotta admit, nobody's a bigger fan of the Big Dog than I am. He's the dog. If he accepts, it's the main event of WrestleMania. But I will say this: Drew McIntyre, a much more formidable opponent than leukemia. I agree when the Scottish Psychopath said that on Raw. It is much more difficult to beat a man like him at WrestleMania than it probably is to beat leukemia, and I hope I never have to face either.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, he is possibly on the run of his life, even going back to whenever he was the NXT champion there for that brief period. I don't think there's any doubt that the Big Dog is going to accept this challenge. Maybe at the top of the hour on Monday Night Raw even. So, yeah, we are definitely getting Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, just 2 heavyweights slugging it out, going one-on-one. You would have to think this is almost a de facto number 1 contenders match, even though it's not going to be built that way.
Probably, but who gives a shit? This is the main event. If the Big Dog, if and when he accepts it, as far as I'm concerned, it should close the show. It's the Big Dog. It's WrestleMania. It's probably the best physical specimen in wrestling right now. It is a guy who's beaten everybody put in front of him lately. This is what it's all about. WrestleMania, big time matches. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. I can't say enough about it. And at the end of WrestleMania, it's going to be great to hear Michael Cole saying, he beat leukemia and he beat the Scottish Psychopath. There's nothing Roman Reigns can't beat because he's the Big Dog.
Big Dog.
It's fucking WrestleMania right there. Another WrestleMania match that has been announced is Rey Mysterio Jr., Dr. Calzones, con Dominique versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship. I gotta admit, a one-on-one United States title match at WrestleMania of this caliber is really something special, and I cannot wait for this, especially now Rey Jr. bringing Dominic Mysterio back to SmackDown Live for the first time in almost 14 years.
That's pretty fun. To make this over the top would be if out of nowhere Samoa Joe says, I'm actually your papi. And then that would probably make it the match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, you got El Hijo de Rey Mysterio and El Hijo de Rey Mysterio Jr. both showing up on SmackDown. I'm just wondering that we know how Joe likes to target family members. And this may not be, a wise decision. If I'm Rey Jr., I think I'm telling Dominic, I want you to stay in the back of MetLife Stadium no matter what happens. Even if I'm, if I'm short on oxygen and I'm clawing and scratching towards the ropes. Samoa Joe knows how to pull those strings. But you're right, a one-on-one U.S. title match at WrestleMania is something I didn't expect us to see.
Oh man, I'm going to be going crazy during this, and depending on how loud Joe's music is, I don't know who I'm rooting for yet, but I got this interesting email in my spam folder, though. I don't know if either of you could help me out and tell me if it was spam or if this is the truth, but it was from a website called www.infowars.com, and it said that we have evidence that Samoa Joe and Wendy Styles are the real parents of Dominic Mysterio. Is there any truth to this?
It sounds like a credible site. I'd probably just click on the link. It's probably fine.
Doctor, have you heard of this at all?
No, but I mean that sounds interesting, man. Just double click, triple click, whatever you got to do.
I don't know if I want to click on that. It's probably going to give me a virus. And also Dominic Mysterio does not look like either Wendy Styles or Samoa Joe. We don't know what Rey Mysterio looks like because he wears a mask, Doctor. But Dominic Mysterio he is a Mexicano, correct? And Samoa Joe is not.
Yeah, he's Mexican American, and Samoa Joe is not. But I mean, they do have that little brown complexion, a little sugar color, man. Brown sugar.
I don't see the resemblance, but I don't know about that rumor. We do know Samoa Joe likes to target family members, though, and this poor kid, I can't believe how strapping and put together he looks, just considering the trauma he was put through as a young man, and now he's about to face with Samoa Joe facing his dad, Triple J. This Dominic kid is something.
Do you expect to see Dominic at the Performance Center anytime soon?
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him give Samoa Joe a 619 at WrestleMania. It's
a little 619.
The next match at WrestleMania it is happening, but we only know one participant. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the most prestigious battle royal of them all. The countless winners have gone on to great things. This year, Braun Strowman has entered the match and claimed he will win, but while also having to deal with the guys from Weekend Update, Triple J. Your thoughts on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal this year, Braun Strowman entering it. Should anyone else even enter it? Maybe they should just cancel it and give him the victory.
I mean, that whole Saturday Night Live thing's a dumb angle, I think. I do not watch the show, so, I guess I can't tell you how good it is or not, but I think it's dumb. We didn't even know this was happening. Braun Strowman is in it. I would like it if only, giants entered. So, Big Show, Big Show says he's in it. Maybe Khali comes back.
Dominic Mysterio.
Pain. We almost just have, a monster mash or something.
Maybe, how about Heavy Machinery? Do they count?
Yeah, Heavy Machinery could be there. I think there should be a minimum height requirement for this match. Nobody under.
How about width? Can we count width as well?
Yeah, because Otis is pretty short unless he's
Otis,
sideways.
Yeah. Let's put a minimum height. Put the height at 6'7", and the weight at
oh my god,
330.
You know what I just pictured in my head, and I think if Vin Man were here, he'd be marking out right now. Triple J.
Hi, Mark.
Could you imagine if in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, we get everybody, all the monsters either thrown out and it's down to just these two, or at least everyone's to the side, and in the middle of the ring, we get a stare down between Braun Strowman and Otis Dozovich.
That's money a year in advance.
I mean, you could build a match for WrestleMania 36.
Yeah,
right there.
mean, that is the literal definition of a stare down, because Braun Strowman, towering over him.
Unless Otis is sideways, and then he would be looking down upon Braun. You know what? Also, I'm interested in is watching. I gotta watch Raw I'm gonna watch Raw with the SAP button clicked, Doctor, because I want to hear how does it sound when they translate Otis Dozovich in Spanish. I bet that's really funny.
It's pretty much pronounced the same, except in the speed of you have this. It's 5 times. It said 5 times faster. So Otis Dozovich.
But what about when he's talking and he's like, pretty lady.
Well, it's of course just a little paisana going, go ahead, trying to probably an actor from, Chavo del Ocho or something.
The Battle Royal is going to be great. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. No word yet on the Women's Battle Royal that we saw last year. But the winner of last year's Women's Battle Royal is in a big fatal four-way coming up on SmackDown Live this Tuesday. Triple J, Naomi facing Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Carmella in a fatal four-way match. The winner gets Asuka and a shot at the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, usually the strange booking is left for Monday Night Raw, but this is another one just 2 weeks away. I'm going to talk more about that later on in the program. I don't know, just really cramming it in here. You know, you had 52 weeks to plan this out, and you're waiting until week 50 to start putting all the pieces in place.
I don't see anything wrong with it. You got to find a number one contender somehow, and I'm rooting for Naomi because I think her versus Asuka one-on-one would be great. Former champ, they're good friends. It's fun to see a healthy, friendly competition of that caliber. I'm looking forward to Naomi winning this, hopefully, to take on Asuka. So outside of this year's WrestleMania, everybody, it's talking season for anybody who's not on the card, Triple J, and well, the Stinger's talking. The Stinger's out there doing interviews and recently said that, his only opponent he would ever come back for is The Undertaker. We know that Seth Rollins retired Sting, and Sting never got to face The Undertaker. And Sting says he would try to battle it out, the injuries, and face The Undertaker, maybe. But he's tried before, and Sting claims that he was in talks to face the Taker at WrestleMania 30, but The Undertaker was busy with Brock Lesnar. And then he was in talks to face The Undertaker at 31. But he said The Undertaker had some other feud going on at WrestleMania 31, apparently, so he had to face Triple H. Do you believe Sting? Sting seems to be saying The Undertaker's ducking him.
I don't want to, say I don't believe Sting, but listen, this match could have happened. This match should have happened. This match could have happened in 1996 if both men wanted it. It could still happen now. It sounds like a lot of pointing fingers, honestly. I could see The Undertaker, saying something at StarCast about, he tried to get a deal done with Steve, in the late 90s, and it just didn't work.
So who do you believe?
I don't know.
Who do you believe? Whose side are you on?
Sting is every bit of trustworthy, I think, but so is The Undertaker.
I'm leaning. I'll believe the dead man. I don't think the dead man's never lied to us. Sting, I don't know. I feel like he could be spinning things here a little bit. I think he's making excuses and pointing the finger here. I'm with the Taker. I think Sting.
We might see that. Hey man, StarCast. We might see it. Maybe that's where the feud starts.
Challenge
issue. Yeah,
That's right. Is Sting going to be at StarCast?
Yes.
I think he is.
Well, let us know who you think, Brainiacs, who you believe. The pointing of the fingers now, why the match never happened, and Sting saying it's the Taker's fault for being busy with other people. He's been ready since WrestleMania 30, apparently. Looking forward to WrestleMania 35 again. Daniel Cormier, the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, says that he might go to WrestleMania 35 and cost Brock Lesnar the Universal title just so he can focus on UFC and come face Daniel Cormier. If that happens, I would be very upset because that means Seth Rollins wins the championship. So this really terrified me when DC said this week, Triple J.
Yeah, you'll have to point this individual out to me if he is indeed at the crowd. And, like I said, with the lackluster security, unfortunately, I guess I could see somebody trying to take a swipe at him.
He must have been inspired seeing, Ronda Rousey's husband doing that.
Right.
So.
These influencers and copycats are not good at all.
You're right. That's why we shouldn't name Ronda's husband. Don't speak his name because you're only going to inspire idiots like him and copycats.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't happen. We have an updated NXT TakeOver card, Triple J. Now, I know you got to be behind on NXT, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I am, but it's not like last year where I'm cramming 3 months into 1 weekend.
So right now, this moment, Doctor and I are caught up. Do you mind if we discuss real quick the card?
That's fine because I am going to watch everything in its entirety.
Are you sure? Because we could do a whole separate show without you if you need us to.
No, that's fine.
All right, Brainiacs, real quick, the updated card for NXT TakeOver New York, not called Brooklyn this year. It's called NXT TakeOver New York. Don't know if you noticed that, Triple J. Did you?
Oh, of course I noticed that. You know who you're talking to here?
Well, it's NXT TakeOver New York, and defending the NXT Championship will not be Tommaso Ciampa because he has a broken neck. He had surgery. So the title right now technically is in abeyance, and it will be fought between Johnny Gargano, who was just given a title opportunity by Triple H, and the winner of the Fatal 5-Way from NXT this past week. Do you want to tell the world and Triple J who won that Fatal 5-Way, Dr. Calzones?
Wait, I need to know who's in the Fatal 5-Way.
Oh, well, in the Fatal 5-Way, we had Ricochet, we had Aleister Black, we had the original bro, Matt Riddle, we had the NXT North American Heavyweight Champion, the Velveteen Dream, and we had the winner, Dr. Calzones.
Adam Cole, baby!
Adam Cole will face Johnny Gargano for the NXT title at NXT TakeOver New York City.
I mean, I'm going to be cheering hard for Cole on this
Disappointed
one.
I'm not going.
I will be rooting hard for Adam Cole too, baby. That is definitely a worthy main event. We also got announced an NXT North American title match this week. It'll be Velveteen Dream against Matt Riddle in a match that I don't know. It will be harder to pick. I like them both. I don't know if there's a match out there that weekend, with two guys I like more facing each other than Matt Riddle and the Velveteen Dream, Triple J.
You know what? If we can go back to that world title match, I almost feel like Adam Cole is more deserving than Johnny Gargano to be in that match. I don't know if anyone else feels that way.
I feel like Johnny Gargano should not be in that match. That's bullshit, but that's another discussion for another show. We don't have a whole lot of time. The other matches on the card, we have the NXT Women's Championship being defended by Shayna Baszler against three women. Of course, we have Bianca Belair, Kairi Sane, and not Mayu Iwatani. God damn it, I always mix her up. Io Shirai! Okay. Yes, both Sky Pirates. Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler. That's going to be unreal. The amount of flippy. We're going to see the athleticism and, of course, the choking. And we also are going to get the winners of the Dusty Classic, whomever that may be, taking on War Machine for the NXT Tag Team titles. The finals of that Dusty Cup, the Dusty Classic Triple J, the Forgotten Sons will take on Aleister Black and Ricochet. Who do you got?
The Forgotten Sons are in the finals.
Yes.
I got to go with, well, I mean, if Paducah and Holland win, then they can't be on WrestleMania. I mean, I guess they could, but that would be a hell of a weekend for them. I'm surprised that the Forgotten Sons got this far, but I got to go Aleister Black and Ricochet on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Forgotten Sons because they've got Gunner or whatever he's called in NXT on the outside there. But all these matches are good, but they pale in comparison.
Wait, there's more.
To the match that was announced this week. Oh my God. Triple J, did you?
I got nothing. No,
you not hear about this. You don't see what's coming right now at you right now.
No, I've been avoiding the new WWE.com.
Well, this week it was announced, not on NXT, but on the show that airs a little bit before it, by General Manager Johnny Saint, that the longest reigning WWE champion, Peter Dune, will be taking on
Who is it?
It's him! It's
Is
him!
it?
Oh
It's Walter!
no! Walter versus Pete Dunne, NXT UK title at NXT TakeOver New York, Triple J. Best match on paper of the weekend.
Now, how has there been a lot of build-up with this on the NXT UK program?
Oh, yeah. The amount of stare downs and tagging and giving each other a look, it's been building since Walter joined NXT UK. And now they're going to square off one-on-one. I mean, Dr. Calzones, you've talked a lot on the B Show about Peter Dune. This is his biggest challenger ever.
Yeah, from everything, I still haven't seen Walter, but from everything I've heard, man, damn, that's a bad man.
I mean, Peter Dune's chest is definitely going to be bleeding, but Walter's got these big Austrian sausage fingers. They're going to be breaking. I can't wait to see this match. This is, I mean, besides Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, Triple J, this is the best matchup of WrestleMania weekend, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this. This is a classic match where, you know, the road agents just tell these guys, go out there and beat the hell out of each other for 25 minutes and then go.
Yep, and well, here we go. We're gonna get it, and it's gonna be maybe the best matchup of the weekend. We'll see, Brainiacs. But if you're going to take over, enjoy it. We'll be watching at Musta Mark's house. Triple J. I'm almost more excited to watch it from there because I need room to scream and jump around. And if I was at the arena, I'd probably get kicked out for how crazy I'm going to go during that match.
Well, you can't forget about the rock and roll. That's going to be, you know, that's surely going to be happening there.
Well, yeah, this week we heard that Disturbed and Billie Eilish are the NXT TakeOver New York theme songs, which is just absolutely fucking badass. So the rock and roll is going to be off the chain too. Hopefully we get a live edition of Dvorak's the Walter theme. So, maybe they'll have a whole orchestra playing.
A big cello, a double bass out there.
Maybe they'll have like the New York Philharmonic or like the Boston Pops there playing Walter into the ring. The rock and roll at NXT TakeOver is always the best thing about it. Real quick, earlier we were saying, where was that New Japan Cup final? It was in Niigata. Yes. It was in Niigata, not Cork and Hall. So Niigata. I forgot. It was at a cool looking newer arena-ish in Niigata. So they got to see Okada win. Last bit of headline here though, real quick. The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were at a Comic-Con in Chicago where they revealed that All In 2 will happen in Chicago once again at the Sears Center. Triple J.
Yeah, I believe Jim Cornette was also at that convention. Love to hear if those individuals crossed paths. Is there a month set for this?
I don't think they gave a date or any info other than it'll be at the same arena All In 1 was out at. Okay. But Double or Nothing is not the sequel to All In because there is an All In 2.
Just outside beautiful Schaumburg. Mm-hmm. And I mean, should we just say, are we all in too?
I'm all in forever. So I'm all in. Are you all in?
I was all in the first time, so I'm all in now.
Once you're all in, you can't be out. So we're in. Brainiacs, you should go all in too. And those are this week's headlines, Triple J, unless I missed anything. Doctor, Jumpin' Jacob J, did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
No, we're good. Okay, good. All right, I feel informed. Hopefully you do too, Brainiacs, because podcasts like us do our damnedest to make sure you know everything going on in the sport of professional wrestling, no matter how much they try to pull the rug out from underneath us. And if they do that, we just go ahead and grab a fork like Abdullah the Butcher and stab him in the fucking face to get what we want every single week. It's time for Falls Count Anywhere.
You know, we're so close to WrestleMania, but so much is still, quite frankly, unknown. I mean, we learned just this past week that apparently the big dog is going to be in a match against Drew McIntyre, and not confirmed yet, but you know Roman Reigns is not going to back down from that. I didn't think the Andre Battle Royal was going to happen, but we have one entrant in already. No word on the Women's Battle Royal. No word on the Women's title. Is it going to be Boss and Hug Connection versus Big Island Express? Boss and Hug Connection versus Pinup Strong, Boss and Hug Connection versus the Iconics, or all three versus the Boss and Hug Connection. The tag titles, who knows what's going on? It looked like Paducah and Holland were due against the Revival, but they may be booked the night before or 2 nights before. We don't know if the Usos are putting their titles on the line against people like us. Just a lot of unknown heading into this WrestleMania season. We've got 4 big shows next. Hopefully more light is shown on this. I don't want this to completely be a mystery vortex situation. And I didn't even mention The Undertaker and John Cena. What are those two going to be doing for the card? I'm excited for WrestleMania like all you Brainiacs, but I'm also a little nervous, a little apprehensive, because I need this card to be set in stone. I need to know which action figure I'm going to be bringing and holding up, cheering for my guy whenever he's out there. And right now, I just don't have all the answers. So we've got 2 weeks left, 4 shows. Hopefully the picture becomes a little more clear.
Brainiacs, I'm going to echo what Triple J just said a little bit, but I'm going to do it in a much more positive manner because that's what I'm all about. Hashtag POP, holding it down for podcasts like us. And while we have 2 weeks to go and we don't know some things, we still have 2 weeks to go, so there's plenty of time to know some things, and I think we will. This is what I'm telling you, Brainiacs. This week, it's all about the tag teams. WrestleMania, you gotta have big tag team matches. So this week, I cannot wait. We're gonna find out who will face the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and I'm hoping, against hope, that the Iconics get their shot because they deserve it. I really feel like the Boss and Hug Connection have been ducking them, but you got some other teams out there. Could we see a multi-woman tag team match for those belts? We'll see. I'm rooting for the Iconics to get their shot, though, because they deserve it. They're so good. They're iconic. Fuck yeah. Also, we got to find out who's going to face the Revival on the WrestleMania pre-show for the Raw tag team titles, because that's that's where that match will happen. But either way, they will work hard, and I really can't even figure out who will face them. Are Chad Gable and Bobby Roode ever going to tag team again? Maybe not. But either way, the Revival have those belts. I think they're doing a great job with them. Someone needs to step up and become a worthy opponent for the best tag team on Monday Night Raw. And then finally, the SmackDown Live tag team scene. The Usos, the best tag team in the world right now, they need challengers. And I think the time is right. It's perfect for a brother versus brother tag team title contest. Book it, a dream match for the SmackDown Live tag team titles. We need Hardys versus Usos. Settle it once and for all, the best brothers ever to compete in WWE. Who will it be? Let's hope we get to find out. That's the match that needs to happen above all else when it comes to the tag team scene, Brainiacs. Make the hot tag this week. We're going to find out. I feel it.
My name is Mucho Mas Mil Calzones. For some of you guys know me as Triple M. Yes, the C is silent. And I haven't done this in a while. But the bitch-ass boo of the week is none other than Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Just give Kofi Kingston his shot. Why do you keep making him run through all these gauntlets and matches? And yeah, you got a title shot, and then psych, you ain't got nothing. Because just give him the title shot, because if not, the New Day will leave WWE, and there is way more opportunities out there now than there was back then. So Vince McMahon, just give it to him. Just give him the title shot. Just give Kofi the title shot now. Give it to him.
You think any chance there's a give it to him chant on SmackDown this week?
Give it to him. Give it to him. Is there any chance Batista comes out as like his legal counsel or his advisor?
I've been asking for it for years. And you're going to give me what I want. Give it to me. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
And Kofi Kingston.
Give me what I want.
Brainiacs, We give you what you want every single week, no matter how much they try to hold podcasts like us down. We're going to keep fighting back. We'll never quit. Hopefully the New Day don't quit this week, and hopefully Kofi gets that shot. He gets what he wants at WrestleMania. Anything else left, Triple J or Triple M?
Triple J, man, wonderful job again, dude. I don't know how you do it.
Thank you, Triple M.
I don't know how you do it.
Thank you, Triple M.
I mean, is that just more ass kissing for WrestleMania weekend, Triple M?
What are you talking about?
I know it's truth telling. You mean?
I mean, Triple J did all right. I mean, he's for a B+ player this week.
I won. What do you mean I did all right?
There's still dispute about that. I mean, really, if we look back, I mean, you count Charlotte as the Rumble winner. I don't know if you did win, but either way, have fun punishing everybody with an asterisk this year at WrestleMania, Triple J. You enjoy it. I'm ready to take to take whatever you want to give me, because whatever you're giving me is what I want. It's WrestleMania,
and you're going to give me what I want.
You think they're going to get some of those boys from that PCO or from that Brody King drag show the night before? Maybe that's a good place if you're looking for boys in New York.
If you want some boys dressed like niños, I mean, WrestleMania is going to be great. We also have a penis party going on. Oh man, there's just too much to handle. Niños and boys and Toro Blancos.
Wired and I didn't announce that yet. How do you have that information?
I got that leak.
Yes, that penis party. Yeah.
Brainiacs.
Yeah.
For more, go on the penis party, the other one, go to brainbusterradio.com. Twitter, read it, title shout out, be all about it at the Brainbusters. On Twitter, Instagram Jr., and Facebook. For Jumpin' Jacob J, Vinman on limited dates, a man called Wired on the social media gimmicks, Moose the Mark on the internet gimmicks, Triple M, Dr. Mil Calzones, mucho más, si senor, on the ones and twos, and Long Alan Iced Tea. I'm Long Alan Iced Tea saying, I gotta get the hell out of here, because I'm in a roosh.